Hello, everyone. I hope you're well, playing and or making the games that you all love. You're joining me, your host, Max Pears, Senior Level Designer, but not just this smooth jazz voice today. No, we have the very easy to work with, partial to green, the lovely Justine. How are you doing, my friend?
Hi, Max. It's so great to be here.
It's great to have you here, mate, and an absolute pleasure to be talking to you today. And can you tell a little bit about the audience, about a bit about yourself and where you're from, mate?
Yes, so I'm Justine. I'm an Aussie originally. And so I kind of came up, funny story, the year that I came out of Games College, the GFC had happened and all of the AAA studios closed down. My college was literally across the street from Team Bondi, who did LA Noire.
Oh no!
Yep, and they closed down. So I was actually part of the indie resurgence that happened in Australia. So Fruit Ninja, Crossy Road, stuff like that. So it's an interesting. It's very different back home than it is over here. But yeah, I kind of made my way kind of over here to the UK, and now I'm working here at AtomHawk.
That's brilliant. I would say it must have been a very strange, I mean, unluckily and unfortunately for you on that timing for it, but you said you got to work on the resurgence for it, and the Australian game community is obviously we're starting to see a lot more of it pop up, which is great. And you, as you said, you're now part of AtomHawk, which is part of the reason why we're here talking. Do you want to explain for maybe then, for those across the world, a bit more about AtomHawk, mate?
So AtomHawk is an art and digital design studio, and we're primarily a outsourcing studio. So we don't actually have any original IP of our own. The company kind of about 10 years ago worked on a own IP called The Realm. And I would say that's that's really the only kind of thing that exists. But I think really it was the best thing that everyone wanted to work on was providing really great concept art and production art services for all of the big games. We work with so many amazing, huge titles, and it's been a really great journey. Stuff like Age of Empires and Mortal Kombat, so many other ones I can't even talk about.
No, I was going to say, back when I was in Newcastle, and still even now, but I remember very much, the incredible work that the team were doing there, because like you said, you're involved with so many big projects, so many incredible. You got such an incredible team that do so much for the art and the concept. And I remember the Realm being announced, and just some of the concepts just for that were absolutely stunning. And how the team, for those of you who don't know, they're based primarily in Newcastle, if I'm correct.
That's correct, and we also have a studio in Vancouver.
So there we go, another one as well. But the Realm was based in Newcastle, and it was really incredible how they transformed what at the time I was seeing as my day-to-day life into something so different, so like fascinating to see how the whole team works. So no, you guys are really well known for doing incredible jobs. So yeah, just congrats to you and all your team for all the hard work. It's great.
Thank you. We got to revisit the Realm actually last year.
Oh, wow.
Because we did a physical exhibition at the Great North Museum.
Oh, really?
Hancock. Yes, it's actually still there because it debuted like 2 weeks before COVID, and it's been open and shut, but thankfully it's still been open. So I think it will be there until maybe September or October. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, if you're in the Northeast, you can go check it out. But yeah, for the lead image for the exhibition, we revisited the Realm.
That's amazing.
And we did the Millennium Bridge, which hadn't been done in the original. And it was really interesting because it was like 8 or 9 years, and so much has changed. The company has changed so much and has grown so much, and it kind of has a evolving identity. And it was really amazing to revisit something that's so important to the history of AtomHawk with kind of a fresh lens and a fresh team. And yeah, it was for anyone who hasn't seen it, the Realm is pretty much like, it is kind of an apocalyptic Newcastle, but it's more like a Newcastle that's reclaimed by nature, that's kind of very far in the future.
But first, a quick word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is the incredible developers over at GameTextures.com. For those of you who do not know who these incredible developers are, let me tell you a bit about them and their project. Their goal is to create incredible texture libraries for you as developers from all stages of production, whether that means early prototyping to the finished product. They have a range of different textures for you to download and use in your projects. Not only this, but they really emphasize the fact that it is from developers for developers. So they have a range of different art styles, again, to try fit those needs on multiple platforms, from Unreal with their focus materials to Unity and Blender. All of these are available for you if you join through one of their subscriptions. They have 30 free materials available now at no extra cost if you register and download them, which is in the link down below. You have a ton of different tiers to select from hobbyist, freelancers to full-time dev. They have you covered not only in terms of materials, stage, but price range as well. And for level designers, this is really important. You've heard me say it before about getting your color coding correct. So if you want to increase the different range of materials to help sell your prototypes or full game in development, then please subscribe, and you will also get a 10% discount off their subscription when you use the coupon code level99 at checkout. Join them now, grab a ton of cool materials, and help make your levels and environments pop. All right, back to the show.
And it's a shame because I wish I could go visit it now. I didn't realize it was still on there, but no, it was some incredible work. And you said that's it. It's this kind of claimed by nature, seeing how that had transformed, a very stone-based city, shall we say, and adding that more green to it. So no, it was a beautiful concept, beautiful ideas, and that. As we talked about, as a company, you're so well in tune with the art world, really, because again, that's what you guys are known for. And this kind of brings on to the main kind of topic we want to discuss in this episode, is that of your competition that you're running this year. Do you want to tell us about that, mate?
Yeah, so our art competition, we run it annually, and this year is the 5th year. And really, it's an opportunity for us to connect with the art community and to kind of really get a sense of, what talent is out there right now, and what are people's ideas, and what are the technical aspects that people are really focused on, and what are people interested in right now. And it's grown every year, which has been really amazing. And we work with a lot of really, really great sponsors, people like Adobe and Wacom and ArtStation, Proco, 3D Total, Photo Bash. It's been really, really, it's that to be able to work with so many great kind of like art suppliers and art resource people and art educators, and connect kind of these kind of people to artists in the community who may not already know about them is really, really exciting. And yeah, it's for me, it's my favorite time of year. And I think I said earlier, there's so many projects that we're often allowed to talk about because of NDA. I mean, you see jokes all the time about portfolio day, and it's just like 4 images of under NDA.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it feels sometimes. But this is our opportunity to really kind of like shout about something we're proud about and share so much amazing work.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think it's great, as you said, because you keep in touch with the community and seeing how the artists, their inspirations are all always changing the styles, right? And I'm wondering then, what were some of the biggest changes that you've noticed when working and doing this competition, mate, in terms of like the applicants and the art that's handed in?
I'd say there's been a huge shift to kind of like 3D and Photo Bash. It has been like that for a long time. I think especially when AtomHawk first got started, using a lot of those techniques. But I think that's kind of really bled out into freelancers and to people who are now kind of coming up in the industry. And it's really amazing to see, especially people who have like a real fine arts background, who get into digital art and who get into 3D, and just the ideas that these kinds of people are able to come up with when they have all these different kind of technologies that they're able to use to create a story and a piece of art. And a lot of people who work at AtomHawk are not necessarily an art background. We've got engineers, we've got fashion designers, we've got architects. There's art can be pulled from all of your experiences in life. And I think the best artworks that we see come through for the art competition are people who kind of draw from those I guess you could say, experiences in their life, but use art and technology to create something new and wonderful with the themes that we put out.
Wow, yeah, that must be very fascinating to have on a team all these people that have previous either passions or views in terms of design and art, right, into creating incredible pieces for the virtual worlds that you all work on. So that's really fascinating to hear, and I think it raises a great point, right? As saying taking inspiration from different elements of different art as well and applying that to your own work. And sorry, mate, I cut you off. I've been extremely please go.
I was just going to say, I think sometimes it's not necessarily the worst thing you can do, but I think artists can hold themselves back when their only inspiration comes from the video games that they play and they want to create art for video games. If it's just this very kind of recycled inspiration that you have, because generally the ideas that people in video games are getting from are generally from kind of that outside world, but they're applying it to these worlds that they're creating. So there is never an original idea. I think that's another thing as concept artists that you can fall into the trap of I need to be completely unique and this and that. And that's not true. There's an original idea pulls from many, many different aspects of inspiration and from life. And I think sometimes you just have to go outside and smell some grass to find that inspiration to come back and create something that feels original and feels unique.
Yeah, I completely agree. I maybe wouldn't use the term "smell grass," but no, this is going to be the name of it. This is going to be the name of this episode right here, smelling grass. But no, it's true though, right? It is the more you live of life, the more you see outside of just what we work on, the more inspirations that you can hopefully translate into exactly what you said, into something maybe not necessarily new, but something that has a unique twist or view on something that's been done before, I think. And it's such a great point. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about what the brief is for this year's competition, mate.
So this year, it is The Return.
Add some epic sound music at the end when you announce the return there.
So we usually keep them very vague. Previously, we've had themes like The Adventure Begins or Solar Punk or Into the Void. So these are, I would say, I think back to some kind of previous entries and I'm like, oh, this could work for The Return. But it's specifically designed to be very, very vague because we just want it to be as much of a sandbox as possible with kind of one kind of direction, really, that you can kind of take yourself in. And yeah, it's just like if I can read directly off from the page, the art competition is to test your craft and the bounds of your ideas and to show us your storytelling ability with a piece of art. And, we really hammer this point home as this isn't a art competition necessarily. It's a visual storytelling competition, because the best thing that any artist can do, whether you're a concept artist or an environment artist or a character artist, is when someone looks at your piece of art, they want to be feeling an emotion and they want to be understanding what they're looking at without having to be told. And so those are generally at the bottom of the page. We put the previous winners in, and I think it's very clear to see when you look at our previous winners, you feel something when you look at them, or you can understand it, or you relate to it, or you understand the story that's being told. And sometimes it is just the simplest story is the best one.
At Level Design Lobby, we believe everybody has a story to tell. Hobbyist or student, freelancer or veteran, we made it our mission to unite those who share our passion for creating and developing great games. Thanks to our generous Patreon backers, we've been able to do just that. So if you've already pledged your support, thank you. If not, you too can ensure the future of Level Design Lobby, helping us to create even more exciting content, collaborations, interviews, and much more. With awesome perks and rewards, Whether you're a seasoned professional or just getting started, you're sure to find something for you. Want to share tips, tricks, and advice with passionate, like-minded developers? Our awesome community Discord has you covered. Fancy practicing your level design, creating strong portfolio content, and having fun? Then try our level design weekends. Or perhaps you want to individually discuss your work, hone your skills, or level up your career? Then consider our one-on-one mentorships. If you share our vision, then go to patreon.com/level design lobby for more information and to pledge your support. Thank you.
No, that's great. I like the fact that you do have these examples on the bottom of the page, because it's just so inspiring. As you said, looking at them, seeing how they're all put together, the process of the artist, right, and seeing that for it is great. And you mentioned a bit more about people sponsoring, but the one thing I wanted to look at as a talking point was the kind of mentorship, some of the paint overs you offer for those who go into the top 5 for the prizes. And I think that's such a great prize in itself, right? The fact that you're able to go speak to someone in the industry, in a master of the field that they're in as well. And I thought it's just such a great idea for it.
Yeah, so every year we try to improve upon the competition from previously, and I've been running them for 3 years now. I kind of took them on from the previous marketing manager who used to work here. And for Solarpunk, which was 2 years ago, the main problem I found was entrants didn't know how to submit their artworks in a clean way. So for last year, The Adventure Begins, we introduced the submission guidelines, and that shows kind of the level we expect when receiving the submission. But also, many artists who get involved are often self-taught or they don't have industry experience, and it becomes a tangible exercise for artists to get a sense of what a studio expects from them and if they want to work in the industry. And also what I learned is we've brought on so many incredible sponsors with physical prizes, but the competition was really lacking those money can't buy opportunities, as you're talking about. And I ran a survey with previous entrants, and everybody asked for more direct access to the AtomHawk team, like a mentorship. And
right.
So everyone asked for a job. I mean, shoot your shot.
Everyone's got to take it, right?
And, I'm always looking to how we can make things more approachable. My background's in community management and building inclusive frameworks. I'm always looking at how we can kind of do that with our art competitions here. So, yeah, there's a lot of great opportunities and prizes for experienced artists, but not as much of a focus on mid-level artists getting involved. Yeah. And so this led us to creating the Rising Star Mentorship, where our judges panel will choose one promising artist to receive an exclusive mentorship with a senior AtomHawk artist. And they'll get 4 one-hour sessions, 1 hour a month, and they'll help kind of the winner create an awesome image to level up your skills. And as I mentioned, aimed at kind of intermediate level artists. All entrants can nominate themselves for the mentorship during the submission form. And something else that's exciting is we've had Wacom support us for the last few years, but the Wacom Cintiq always goes to the grand prize winner. And this year, the Wacom Cintiq goes to the winner of the mentorship. Because something else I realized was people who are kind of winning our grand prize, our top 2, our second, third, they likely already have a station set up. They likely already have a Cintiq that's probably the real top of the range ones, not necessarily the ones that is a prize in our competition. But someone who's an intermediate level, who shows real promise, likely is someone who probably doesn't have that. And so along with things like a 1-year subscription of ArtStation Pro and gift vouchers to Proco and 3D Total, these are all things that can actually really change someone's life who's at that level and who really deserves it. So that's kind of really why we wanted to change it up this year, which is really exciting.
Add some spice, throw it in that grass. No, that's great. I think, honestly, like you said, it's one of those prizes that money can't buy, especially for intermediates, those who want to learn more. And that's always the best thing about working in this industry in any role, right? Is that there's still always something to learn. There's still always elements to get better at. So I think you guys providing that, that's great. I'm envious whoever wins. I wish I had that back when I was trying to get into the industry. I think that's great. I'm not going to submit though. My stickmen are awful, all right? Like I don't want to embarrass myself.
It's interesting that you say like I can't remember what you just said, but you know,
stickmen
in regards
awful,
to
you know.
before that.
No, well, I wish I had something like that back when I was trying to get into the industry.
And in regards to our team, like everyone is, I think people would be really surprised how humble and down to earth our team is. Oh, you said there's always something new to learn. That's a really, really important part of the AtomHawk ethos is kind of learning and development and knowing when something's high quality, but also knowing that your journey as an artist and your skills are never really over. And so I think we've found kind of over the years the people that we're most comfortable having with our team and when we work best is people who really, really can take that feedback. And I'm sure you know this well when working with teams in your company is it's just so much easier to get a job done when you're able to have a more collaborative experience with someone who's able to kind of like, who isn't going to be too precious over stuff. Yeah. And something with AtomHawk and working as an outsourcing art studio is we work on even pitches for game companies to pitch to their publishers or whoever. And a lot of these don't even get through. I'd say like, you know, there's like 80 to 90% of the work we do never gets seen. And a lot of it does come out, but a lot of it gets scrapped too, and we're just never able to talk about it. And you have to kind of work in a studio like AtomHawk, you have to be able to be proud of something, but understand that, you know, at the end of the day, you may never get that validation from a wider audience of this thing that you created. And you just have to be, you know, sit and be happy and thankful for the fact that I made this cool thing and now it's off into the universe and I don't know what's going to happen to it and I may never see it again.
Yeah. It's such a big part, right, of any creative endeavor is you obviously hope for it to see the finish line, but as you said, it may not. But I think that's such a great point that you made there, mate, about just the fact that you got to create this, whether it goes further or not, but like you've gained something from this, whether that be a new skill, maybe it's being able to communicate better with your team, maybe it's you're going to be much faster the next time you work on something for a similar project, right? But it's such an important part. I think you bang on with just how, you never finish learning, you never finish growing, and that doesn't always finish, but it doesn't mean that you're finished either in a sense.
Yeah.
So no, it's a great one there. Let's say, is there anything else you kind of want to mention about this really cool competition, Champ?
I guess I could talk about the Hawk's Choice Award, which is another new addition. So in previous years, we've only had the 3 top prizes. This year, we'll have 5 prizes. And I think one thing is speaking to some of my coworkers about, you know, the art competition and their feedback, because, you know, generally they're hard at work working on the projects we're working on. And kind of I'm over here doing this and that, bits and bobs for marketing. Our team, who obviously care a lot about our art competition, may not always get that kind of like one-on-one time with it. So it's great to get there, especially when many of our artists are ones that were doing art competitions for many, many years before they got hired at AtomHawk. They're the best people I can be asking for feedback. And something that they mentioned is people were like, I want to, because we have our judges panel, but people were like, I love this one and I want to, you know, pick something. So we came up with the Hawk's Choice Award. So everybody in the AtomHawk team will be able to pick their favorite piece from the full list of submissions. And instead of to kind of win these top prizes, it's the final artwork that wins is the best single image with a mixture of storytelling, creativity, and technical skill. It needs strong composition, rendering, lighting, and attention to detail. But I think something that we found is we were leaving a lot of, I guess, artworks that we felt a real connection with and that made us feel something that ended up kind of getting left on the cutting room floor of the shortlist just because the technical skill wasn't there or because they were more of a mid-level artist. And so the purpose of the Hawk's Choice Award is not necessarily the one that has the best rendering or the best lighting, but the one that you saw and really sparked the most joy and the one that really told a story and made you feel something. And again, there's some great prizes that the winner will get a paint over or a portfolio review, their choice,
Brilliant.
ArtStation Pro, and also a copy of our art book.
Awesome.
An AtomHawk art book that we like to give away to people sometimes.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's it's just another opportunity to, as I mentioned before, making it more inclusive, you know, bringing that bar down and just making it more of an enjoyable experience. And we've got a hashtag, which is this year, it's hashtag AtomHawk Return.
Okay, awesome.
And the best thing, you know, we really encourage for people to go into that tag and comment on other people's artworks and to share your work in progress and to kind of offer that encouragement. And although it is a competition, you know, at the end of the day, we want this to be more of an opportunity to be able to create a really great piece of portfolio artwork and to maybe make some friends or find a new artist that you really, really idolize or learn something new about this process and just kind of get more connected with your community. It's really a privilege to be able to be in a position where we are to create something like this, which creates a framework for kind of that to be able to happen. So just want it to be a kind of positive experience all around, even if you don't win.
No, that's great.
I wish we could give everyone prizes, because last year we had over 500 people submit something, which really blew my mind because that was a huge increase from the year before. And the 5 prizes really isn't enough when you have so many people being part of it. So I hope that people find those kind of their own opportunities within it in the process.
No, that's great. And I think that, again, another cornerstone is, regardless of if you get into these 5 prizes, you said it so well that it's about having a great piece to add to your portfolio, because I think that is so important to be able to stand out. And getting involved in these incredible competitions like this, where you're given a challenge, you don't have to think about, well, what it is that I'm having to make it. Obviously, like I said, you keep it vague to still allow creativity, but just something that, again, you don't have to think about yourself. And the fact you got this hashtag and people can interact with each other during the work in progress stage, it is great, because regardless, win, lose, whatever, you're going to come out with a portfolio piece which will hopefully put you in better stead than you were before. And that, again,
exactly
is one of the best things. So no, great point there, mate. Great point. No, it's awesome. I mean, I'll tell everyone now, I'll probably win Hawk's Choice Award with my stickmen. So, just giving everyone a warning, don't worry about it. I slid Justine 50 quid, so it's all right. We've got it sorted. It's in the bag, guys.
The most endearing stickman you've ever seen.
The truest of stickmen one has ever seen. That's it. But no, it's going to be a great one. We're going to have links to this down in the episode in the description below. So anyone who's interested in applying, wants to know more about it, you can get all the vital information from this. We're going to start to wrap this one up. So Justine, mate, do you have any kind of last words or anything you want to say, or how can people reach out to you or AtomHawk, my friend?
Mm-hmm. So I will say that our art competition runs every year. It starts July 1st. So even if you miss out this year, please join us for next year. Submissions close on the 7th of August. So you still should have some little amount of time to get involved before it kind of all closes up. And if you want to connect with us, you can find us at AtomHawk. That's atom like the atom and hawk like the bird. Atom like the subatomic particle.
There we go. Nailed it. So smooth.
So that's at AtomHawk on Facebook and Twitter. Mm-hmm. But I think people get really the most involved on Instagram, where we are at AtomHawk Design, because someone has already taken at AtomHawk, unfortunately. Real first company problems.
The worst. No, but all of those will be linked down in the description below. So if you do want to reach out to anyone, then find out who took the AtomHawk on Instagram. We can find this later. Find the vital information. No, but that's it. But again, just thank you so much, mate, for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it. We really, thank you for also running the competition, mate.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was really, really lovely to come and speak to you about this really amazing thing that we work on.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And hopefully we'll do another one next year. We'll be a little bit ahead of the curve this time.
Yeah, we'll do it in June.
Yeah. No, brilliant. Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. If you want to reach out to me, you can do so on Twitter as well. I'm at Max Pears. If you've got any questions you want to email into the podcast, that's leveldesignlobby@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, then then please head over to patreon.com/level design lobby. Thank you, take care, and we'll catch you all next time.